Otautahi Cup. It is all on for the teams here in Christchurch. Of course, Otautahi, the Māori name for Christchurch as a city. And exciting news that we've got some hockey. National League was cancelled, but here we are at Ngā Punawai in Christchurch, this magnificent international hockey venue. The two artificial turfs, field turf over the background, and the two sides that will front up in the opening match. Wellington women up against Canterbury Cats. So currently 15 degrees. There is a little 9k zephyr coming across from the south. It's meant to turn around and be an easterly, which we're dreading. But anyway, after yesterday's 29 degrees, it's only 15. We've had some rain here this morning. That won't matter. But Pat Bowick has got expert comments, former New Zealand captain, former New Zealand coach in that Wellington side. What do we know about them, Pat?
Well, I think today the key thing there will be they've been joined by Megan Hull from the Black Sticks unit from the Wairarapa, so has played in Wellington before. And that's exciting to have those players down and mixed and mingled with these groups today. There's some good talent there. There's a couple of players coming back in, like Anna Waka Roberts. And also it's interesting to see Maddie Story going for Wellington, who's ex-Canterbury, of course.
Exactly, formerly donning the red and black, now donning the black and yellow. And to the Canterbury Cats, well, you know a lot about, this is a very young side, and I guess you'd have to say anchored at the back by Jackie Moorfield and their captain, Kat Tinning, but some very exciting young talent.
Yes, definitely. I know there's one or two missing that we might have expected to see today, but they've obviously been made unavailable in a sense through other sport and other activities this weekend. But good to see the young ones getting an opportunity. So there's some good talent coming out there. Bella Ambrosis, Emily Baker, and also seeing people like Tessa Reid out here after her early selection into the recent squad. That's great to see them out and having an opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of players in that lineup that played a lot of hockey since they were about 5. I'm talking the likes of Georgie Mackay-Stewart, Jessie Anderson, Charlotte Lee. You know, there's pace to burn,
yes,
is what we know from that Canterbury side. But that is the Wellington team, and look, we do say hats off to New Zealand hockey for getting this. Canterbury hockey, Otago, Wellington, because those are the teams competing to get this underway after the National League was cancelled.
Oh, absolutely. Great to have the opportunity for the players. They get so, keyed up to play, and then to have those disappointments, it's always tough, but these people have been able to turn up this weekend, and they'll make the most of it, I think, and I think we all will, because yes, I'm looking forward to seeing them myself.
Yeah, so in goal for Wellington women, Jodie Walker. And the reserve goalkeeper today is actually from Christchurch girls high keeper Claudia Rouse. So it'll be interesting to see if she gets any game time. The Canterbury side, and their goalkeeper today, Sasha Masters. But you can see the overcast conditions. The lights are on. Has to be. It's quite dull. But we are told that it will burn off, and we might get some lighter moments during the course of the afternoon. Of course, our umpires for the opening match, Rachel Murphy and Katrina Turner. And of course, they're crucial, Pat. You know, the whole flow and momentum that we see now in hockey, they're absolutely crucial to that part of it.
Yes, it's a game that's developed more and more into certainly being able to take advantage of advantage, and it's critical how the umpires do blow that. And I think they're all, they're gaining their own confidence in being able to do that, because that's quite a significant part of umpiring, really, to see the potential of an action and be able to let it flow for long enough to see the result. So,
and the pace of the game, I mean, they have to be as fit as the players to keep up with it. It is so quick now.
Oh, absolutely. They cover that sideline right from end to end almost nowadays. They have to help each other at each end. Not quite like the old days when they probably stopped at half-time. But, it is it's a game where fitness is as much required. Yeah.
Absolutely. For Wellington, we are very keen to have a look at wearing the number 13 shirt, Rihanna Poe. Just year 12 at Wellington Girls, and we're hearing very, very good things about this young player, one of the best in her age group, and hoping to see her get game time. So wearing the 13 shirt is Rihanna Poe. I know that her parents were the first spectators here at Ngā Punawai this morning, caught the early flight from Wellington, and of course with the COVID levels that we currently enjoy in the South Island, and as Wellington does, we were able to have them here and host them here at Ngā Punawai in Christchurch. So you can see, as we've talked about already with the Wellington side, Anna Waka Roberts, former Black Stick, Felicity Reedy in there as well, and of course Tokyo Olympian Megan Hull. So they've been strengthened by that as the teams now line up, face quite a good crowd here. If they are in their bubbles, they can sit closely to each other, but many are observing the due distance that is required. So Canterbury on the right, Wellington on the left, and receiving the applause of the crowd. Young players set to make their impression. Of course, there'll be the New Zealand selectors looking at this as well, and captaining, leading the Canterbury team, and the obligatory stick. A lot of smiles from both sides there as they get ready. There won't be smiles now as the whistle goes. And last minute words. I know that Chris Leslie, the coach of the Canterbury team, has said to his players he just wants them to push forward, put it all out there, play aggressive, hard-running hockey.
Oh, that'll be good then. Well, we look forward to seeing that, and with a young group and a quick group, that will probably be seen as well. They'll be excited today, so they'll be full out. Ready for it.
And, of course, Hugh Rosemurgy, the coach of the Wellington side, well, he's a very experienced coach.
Yes, he is.
Well, Canterbury's ready. You just need the ball sitting in there. Can't quite see it on the white line, but it is there. I can see it. And Wellington now coming into the picture, and they will have the first pass. Jessica Kelly will have the honour of having the first pass in Otautahi Cup 2021 here at Ngā Punawai. And let's start with an overhead and an early whistle to say to the players, give me that 5 metres when the ball is coming down from an aerial. So the player cannot go in and contest within a 5 metre area when that ball's coming down. So that was the early whistle. This is Alicia Davies. You know, Davis, you know a lot about her, Pat. She's part of your club.
Yes, she is. It's great to see her having an opportunity today. She was originally in the Barracudas, I think, and then has been brought up to this game today.
So a great run by Jess Kelly, taking the ball out onto the left flank and earning themselves a penalty corner. Have Wellington made an early statement down that left flank. And let's have a look and see what they can do at the penalty corner time. Imogen Neal, is she going to be involved in that bracket? And she's standing up there, looks as though she might have the direct hit. We saw her warm up with some handy tonks into that goal mouth. Prefers to go to the goalkeeper's right. And looking there, Anna Walker-Roberts to trap at the top, and Neal to hit. And already in reverse stick, that's a meaty in there, but they've got composure, have the Canterbury defenders. They've done well. Another chance, reverse hit at goal. And she does well. Masters in goal, gets a clap for her efforts. So corner taken quickly, already looking to gain the ascendancy over Canterbury. Wellington not going to muck around. Cool conditions, 15 degrees, overcast, intermittent drizzle as well. It won't worry the players. Now looking for that hit into the circle, catches a foot just outside, a Canterbury foot. Might have been captaining herself. Taken quickly, looking for the calm head of Emily Baker out there to distribute. But really, at this stage, Canterbury can't get any reasonable position. It's all with Wellington. They've done well. I mean, how long would these players have been training for this, Pat?
Well, depending on the overall squad, possibly a few weeks, because obviously they were getting ready for a national tournament that got cancelled. And then they've intermittently carried on as each opportunity has been talked about, I think. But probably since they really agreed to this tournament, it would only be 2 or 3 weeks at the max.
I know that the Canterbury team had a practice match with the Canterbury boys under 18s.
Oh, yes.
And I know that Chris Leslie was pretty happy with what he saw. That's a great exit ball out of the Canterbury defence, the free out, and doing some lovely work in there. Jessie Anderson, she's a player to watch. She's got speed to burn. Great reach from Georgie Mackay-Stewart. Two players who played so much hockey together. Mackay-Stewart and Anderson just can't keep possession. And let's see what Wellington can do now from the back. Anna Walker-Roberts, former Black Six, already having quite a big say in the opening stage. 4 quarters in the match. This is captaining the captain, and of course former Black Stick herself. Well, she may have had 1 appearance, I think, but really looking to make an impression and get a recall.
Yes, I think she's been working pretty hard. She had an unfortunate time with injuries, and so she's just sort of coming back into it, really.
Bella Ambrosius wearing 2 A little pocket rocket up there, and that's a foot.
There's some good perseverance there in the corner. Managed to put the pressure on that Wellington player.
Now this is going to be the interesting bit about the set plays. What are they able to conjure up with such short time together? Anderson. It's good back up.
Getting a bit of width.
And they're into the 25, but just harmlessly over the baseline. A pretty promising start.
Yes, they won't have had a lot of matches, so I think that's, it's going to take them a bit of time to settle down. A couple of quarters probably today, but this is, one of the bigger matches for the week at Wellington, Canterbury, so they'll be at each other pretty tightly.
Looking to use the right flank to effect.
Nicely guarded on.
This is Thomasina Liffin from the Harewood Club. And through the back and over onto the right side. So very careful with the ball. I don't want to give it away too easily, but they've got that off. Anderson's pass initially was over the baseline by Wellington, so it'll be a corner for the Canterbury side. Difficult to get something off these, Pat, I think, often.
Yes, they're not. It's been a good move to change that in hockey, but I think it's still really difficult to have the result of getting it even into the circle at times. Yep. I do think it's quite a good option to go back a bit and give themselves a bit more room, but it's not always what we see.
Open it up. Tinning, some quick 1-2s up on that left flank. Back to Lofen. And down the back, wearing 8, Jackie Moorfield. We knew that she would anchor it at the back for Canterbury. We'll touch in the circle now. Opportunity if they can get a shot away. Very rarely do you get a free shot at goal, do you, these days?
No, there's always going to be a pesky stick in there.
This is Emily Baker.
There's a chance.
And long again. So just trying to find those links, those communication where they can just tap the ball or get a pass away, where they can execute a shot or go to the all-important penalty corner set piece play. Mackay Stewart opts to go back.
Just a little bit of timing lacking at the moment, like just the ball held a fraction too long and the defenders getting an opportunity to put their stick in the way and upsetting the pass. Just need to release it a bit quicker.
Oh, she's busy, Ambrosius. Look at her. She is really quick with the footwork and the stick work. She's got plenty of go forward. Bella Ambrosius, isn't she?
Yes, she's a great young player. She's got, and footwork's the secret there, Leslie. She does have very good footwork and she's able to manoeuvre the ball and herself really well through the crowd.
Yeah, loving the intent from her. It's feisty and competitive, which is what you want. Under a little bit of pressure, the Wellington defence.
Yeah, to see if Canterbury can press this ball in here on this and keep it in their attacking third.
So really starting to seal it off, aren't they?
Yes.
Moorfield distributes once again. Tinning. This is Brianna Catley. Out on the left flank, into the circle, looking for a foot, doesn't get it. And talk about speed to burn, that's the play we were talking about. Rihanna Poe, watch for her, 13 in the Wellington lineup. Look at her bringing that ball out of defence. And the body balance is what I saw immediately, Pat.
Yes, she looks like a good athlete, I think we'd say, to start with, and that's what you want, to start the whole process of developing into a good player of any sport.
Now a chance for Wellington up there, left flank, get the ball in the circle. Again, Masters called on to make the save. And a good exit ball from Canterbury. Nice little passing movement, but quite sure on their exits, aren't they?
Yes, they're taking care with that pass out of the defence, which is good.
Ambrosius up there worrying the ball carrier. Here she is. Poe gets dispossessed this time. Tinning does the damage for Canterbury. Here she is, the skipper. Oh, nice footwork from Rihanna Hunter for Wellington in deep defence. Oh, good hassle. A good hassle. Kat Winter, another player from Wellington girls, got dispossessed. But they come away with the free hit.
Just, oh, yeah. It's too slow.
Yeah, Rihanna Poe and Esther Chan in the Wellington defence. Waido Hunter is quite prominent on that right defensive unit for Wellington. Out on the left now, over halfway, swept first time. Or if it had been picked up, Alicia Davies.
Well, the Wellington girls were calling for a long there, but they thought it had been touched, but it's been given out to Canterbury. Alicia
Davies will take it herself, and which is you're quite entitled to do that. Oh, that time didn't go where it intended, so they're under pressure again. This is Jess Kelly. She's already shown us in the opening stages that she can get that blistering pace going. So the intensity of the match, Pat, Barwick, how do you see it at this stage? We've got under 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
I think there's been a lot of testing. They're just testing each other quite a lot. Some quite careful passing. There's not too many risks being taken at the moment, but it's still, they're keeping the ball moving if they can to open the game up, which is good. But I think at this stage they're still just, you know, like this now. They're just thinking Wellington's marking tightly, so they're making Canterbury really work to get that ball out of defence, and it's much the same at the other end.
Yeah, the screen's working well for both teams.
Yep.
Plenty of talking happening as well. Arabella Shield having a bit to say there. And Davis, the high overhead. Don't see too many of them, or not as much in the women's game as the men's game, but that was a good one from Davis, lots of strength.
Yes, it's coming in quietly, just as more of the young players develop it. It's quite a technique and skill, and it takes a bit of practice to get it right. And if it's, you know, because if you're throwing it up and getting penalised all day, it's not a good advantage.
It's a lovely bit of stick work from Davis as well. And a chance, another corner. Oh, they're certainly quick inside that circle, just that last pass. But the defence is very sure from Wellington. Having said that, there's that pass back you talked about, driving now. And looking to get a stick on it was Catley. She couldn't do so. And Anderson comes back and retrieves. Shield. Now, some excellent work down on that right side. She's quite prominent, Davis. Some lovely little subterfuge there, but they weren't fooled, the Wellingtonians. They're just almost calming down and say, well, let's just take our time to exit the ball out of here and make sure we keep possession. Quite structured.
That was a better attempt by Wellington there to get the ball out through Poe and quick passing. So they're looking to try and open it up, keep it moving.
Opting to go right back and reset up. This Kat Winter again. They're quick, some of these Wellington players.
Yes, they're stepping up really well on the Canterbury players at the moment, just stepping up in front and intercepting that pass and turning the ball over a little bit more than we'd perhaps like to see them do that, or Canterbury would.
Now, that was a very stern whistle against Anderson for the poke tackle. She's very, just going to say, very upright runner, a Wellington player, having a look up to see where a pass was going, but it's Anderson with it now. Nice 1-2. Anderson
and again.
And Shield. And there's the 1-2 out onto the right. I thought it was well
rescued. 3 or 4 passes being strung together, that starts to get the game flowing.
Lots of rotations, of course. The players doing the hard running off the ball. You don't always see that. Look at the pressure going on.
Oh,
yes, one. Beautifully done. Beautifully picked off. Chance now. Oh, across the face. So from nothing. Charlotte Lee, we know she's quick.
Genuine opportunity there, I think, really. Could have been another option of the pass back. It's the 3-on-1, really, and the keeper.
It's a great overhead, isn't it? So controlled. Anderson does well to regain possession. Big stick clash, no whistle. Play on is the call. And coming through quickly, Emily Baker. Anderson gets 2 players on it. She gets the free hit as well. Here she is. Gets the ball through. Lovely pass into the circle. Is it Lee who's got the ball now? Yes, it is. But again, just slightly under pushed and not able to affect anything.
Probably just needed to be lifted a little bit over the stick, so it was a wee bit too easy to stop that one.
Now, this is Charlotte Eastman with the ball here. We've seen her dribble through the midfield, Pat. Quite upright, but scans, looks beautifully. Body balance is terrific.
Yes, good vision, so she was able to see the options available to her.
Emily Baker with the ball. There's a quick look up. Strong sweep hit across field. And Lofen. There might have been a stick coming over the top of her. Reedy gets pulled. Yep, winning the one-on-one, Anderson. Caught out into the left side, back quickly, trying to have a quick switch of attack. Canterbury, 0-0. And that is the hooter. I was thinking it can't be far away. So the first 15 minutes in Otautahi Cup, which is 0-0 at the end of 15 minutes between the Wellington women who've come south here to Christchurch over the Canterbury Cats. So how do you sum up the first 15, Pat?
Well, as I said, I think they spent quite a lot of the time really testing each other out, but we were starting to see some more ball flow at the end. Just a little bit more in terms of getting the ball moving between each other, and I think that's going to help them to open it up.
So the coaches are out there after the first 15. We'll be back shortly. It is 0-0 between Canterbury and Wellington. Back for the second 15, opening match of Otautahi Cup 2021 here in Christchurch. If you've just joined us now, overcast conditions, pretty cool. After a very hot day yesterday, southerly came through, dropped a bit of rain, but thankfully that has cleared up at this stage. Won't worry the players. 0-0 after the first 15. We had a couple of forays each. Wellington very early on had a nice run down the left flank, and Masters in goal for Canterbury was called on to make a few saves, and then Canterbury went back and threatened, and here they are again on that right flank, speed up that right side, trying to, through Anderson with the ball now, get that ball in and meet up with Ambrosius, who's got it now for Canterbury. Tries to get her feet round the ball, and too good, that Wellington defence. Very quick. playing, trying to inject a bit of pace, Pat Bowick, into their game. I guess comes with that sometimes you can just go a little bit fast.
Yes, it's important to still be accurate, of course, and they're doing well. I think it's just this need to keep the ball moving. We're still perhaps carrying the ball a little bit too much, but, you know, maybe that's part of the plan. But if you're going to keep carrying, you need to carry a little bit more on a diagonal, so you open the game up, perhaps, rather than just straight up and down.
Annie Walker-Roberts gets the ball away for Wellington, but can't link up with any of her players. Former Black Stick. And this time some great work again. Ambrosius gets the ball away, comes and robs the ball, gets the possession. It's out wide and trying to get it back. Kat Tinning up there as well.
Yes, she was carrying the ball well then and just looking for that pass, but just couldn't quite get it through the feet of the defender.
We've seen quite a few corners taken from this side. And I guess what they'd be trying to do is get out of that congestion. You can see the players on screen and have a quick switch maybe. Here it is across to Baker, who's out on the left this time. We saw here on the right. Tinning gets the ball away and the shot into the goal. Ambrosius this time opting for the hit through, and it was well sealed off. Got back, here she is at reverse stick. Good save. Walker in goal for Wellington, and Ambrosius get a couple in a row there. And they'll get the possession back, will Canterbury.
Good organisation in the Wellington defence. They were in all the good positions to stop that pass, but it was a good attempt. She needed to get the second one across after it was well saved by the keeper.
17 for Wellington. Kiriana Wairo-Hunter, key part of the defensive unit, gets the ball away. No, the real opportunity for which team, who is going to take the first real blow. I think what Wellington have done well in their deep defence is that they've stopped Canterbury coming through the middle and pushed them out to the side.
So I think what we're just seeing right now is Canterbury starting to do what Wellington was doing to them in the last quarter, is step up and try to intercept some of those passes. So they're marking more tightly and just stepping in to take it. They've taken 2 or 3 good interceptions already in this quarter. If they can keep doing that, they'll turn Wellington over in that higher area. And Wellington did that dangerously in the first half.
Into the second quarter, 0-0 still between these two sides. We did think when we looked at the teams at the beginning that it would be a closely fought match.
Yes, definitely, I think so. There's another go up.
Brady McCulloch for Wellington, wearing 9. Baker distributes to the captain, Tinning. Players out wide if they need them. Nice pass through, but well sealed off. Lots of time. Hayley Cox for Wellington. Oh, that was a stretch. That was really well read. Esther Chan coming through. Here. And an opportunity now, no, but sealed off by Canterbury. Both defences looking to read the game, stop anything that remotely will danger the circle. Free hit, Canterbury. Off quickly. Hallmark, but these young players who would know each other pretty well.
Good steal.
Great steal.
Early pass in, good work.
Big stick clash there. Charlotte Lee, free hit. Here she is again, trying to make an inroad into the circle, but Roberts does really well. Again, so composed. That left flank, great ball, wonderful ball through, and it's a 2-on-2 if they can get the shot away. And oh, they had players there too, but the shot, Jess Kelly again doing the damage so fast.
She's a strong player up front, and she's looking all the time. She's carrying and looking, which is great. To see players really looking for those options ahead of them and not just thinking of what they can do on their own.
the finish, though, Pat. That's what you want to see, the goals, though, don't you? Opportunities like that.
Yes.
So I guess the big dilemma is, do you pass off? Do you take the shot yourself?
There's plenty to think about out there when you're playing.
Yeah, and then there's the pressure on you to get it away.
That's right.
I mean, the beauty of the way that both teams are approaching it, they want to play the game at pace, so it opens it up, so it gives the counter-attack that opportunity. But they're dangerous on the left, that's for sure, Wellington. A great push through. Lee does well. Working hard, trying to get that ball through and make some inroads and put some real pressure.
That was Jessie was it Jessie Anderson on a good run?
It might have been, was it Kat Tinning or
Kat
Jessie?
Tinning, I think. Yes.
Yeah. I think she might have been looking for a penalty corner, which at this stage Canterbury have had to defend one. You haven't seen the attacking penalty corner from Canterbury yet. Hasn't been forced by them. Out wide again. Look at the congestion all in that little pocket. Now, who's on the end of it?
At the touch
Shot
here.
at goal. Who wants it? And it will be a corner, just as we were talking about it, Pat.
Yes, it was
forced the corner.
a little bit of pressure finally by just again releasing that pass and getting it into the circle a bit quicker. And pressure was really on.
So let's have a look. We know that Alicia Davies has got a drag flick. We know that Jackie Moorfield has got a sweep hit. So has Emily Baker. So who's coming up and having the early shot at penalty corner?
Looks like Alicia's coming round to the flick position.
Oh, yep, number 6.
And Jackie's on the right-hand side. On the second bracket.
Let's have a look. Moorfield sweep hit. Oh, and it was on the body. She was right there at the right place, Charlotte Lee, and she'll get one in the back of the legs for a trouble as well. Was it Charlotte Lee? Yes.
Yes, it was Charlotte. Unfortunately, she just got down on her knees a bit quick, really. If she'd been upright, she may have got to the stick first.
Yeah, so Moorfield sweep hit.
It was a pretty accurate one too. It was a really good opportunity, so she'll be pleased with that as the first time. Just disappointed, didn't quite finish it off.
Ooh. Okay, that's a penalty corner apiece and another chance here for Canterbury, but beautiful stick tackle. Again, that left flank causing problems. Kat Winter with the ball for Wellington. Can she get it off? Loading. Oh, and a big poke tackle. And here we come again. Wellington into the circle now. Masters comes out.
Well taken by Sasha.
Pouring the pressure on. Masters again gets the deflection, has the body in the right place and exits beautifully out wide, which is where you want it. Ball into that Canterbury circle. Felicity Reedy just couldn't quite get it in the right place, so it's all about composure.
They just looked like Wellington just upped the tempo a bit there and were really keen to get the ball into the circle. So 2 or 3 good drives into the circle rather than dribbling around the circle, and that just caught Canterbury a little bit there. Just being ready for that.
It's gone fast, the second 15 after it being 0-0. It's still 0-0. Couple more chances for both sides, you've got to say. Charlotte Lee for Canterbury. Jess Kelly. And they're so dangerous using that left flank again. Kat Winter has got it. Look at that. And she'll get pulled for...
Yes, I think she just turned it in her body too much in to obstruct rather than using ball. So there is still a little bit of obstruction in the game if there's real prevention on giving the
Cox
defender
gets the
opportunity.
ball away to Anderson, who was looking for Catley up on that right again. So it's interesting, isn't it? They've been quite dominant, Canterbury on their right and Wellington their left.
Just seeing Megan Hull here on the ball, showing the skills of a good defender, top-class defender, making sure that she's trying to work that ball out without losing it.
How cool that she's playing.
Yes.
Fantastic that she wants to play. Tokyo Olympian, Megan Hull, wearing 17, was it 16 for Wellington?
I think that'll be a hit out to Wellington there. I thought it may have been another penalty corner, but... Oh, yes, I think it is. I thought it did come off the foot there. So Canterbury have got another corner.
What can they conjure up? Who will it go to? Will Jackie Moorfield have another sweep hit? It worked beautifully. Or will it be Emily Baker to sweep hit? Here's Jackie Moorfield wearing 8. Alicia Davies wearing 6. Charlotte Lee to inject from the baseline.
Swapped roles here in this case. And this time we might see a different shot.
Anderson has a shot at goal.
It was well positioned. They went for the centre player to try and lift it over the keeper on the deflection, but didn't quite come off.
Cox. And in the end, sealed off again, that very efficient Wellington defence, mopping it up. A lot of talking, a lot more talking, a lot more vocals out there. Gaining confidence in each other, both sides. 0-0 though, 4 minutes to go in the half. Up that left flank again. I've loved using that, Wellington.
Yes, they are dominating down that side. They obviously feel that it's a good, strong area for them.
Nice, bunt on. It didn't work this time. She did well. Catley coming back, and this is Anderson. Pounces onto the ball, driving forward.
Tall girl for Wellington, and number 5. She's Jessica Kelly. She's looks very strong in there, and she's always again got her head up, looking and delivering some good ball. She's not quite always latching onto. But it is interesting, Wellington's choosing a lot to go down the left, whereas when they do suddenly come through the right, they actually look quite positive, really.
Nice big drive downfield by Thomasina Lofen. And the players regroup again. You just get the feeling there's just a little bit more intensity in the match over the last 10 minutes. In these very cool conditions. Lights on. This is Rihanna Poe, most exciting player. Winters had a good spell for Wellington, the number 2. Sealed off in the middle, but midfield player it is. Anderson with the ball out on the right. Searching for a little breakthrough too, and Brosius gets the free whistle.
A lovely pass received on as she turned onto the outside, which is a really good way to receive.
Anderson comes back and offloads back into the middle. The crowd gasp and say, why wasn't someone there?
There was some good positioning, but just no one in that channel.
Lots of time to go in the match, just over 2 in the second 15. 0-0. Just looking at some of those shirt numbers for Wellington. Might it be a change in the deep defence? Someone may have changed the numbers. We'll correct that when we can. Again, Jess Kelly looking so strong as she gets through. Good tussle between Lofen and Kelly here. And the whistle, has it gone? Kelly gets it back. Big ball is just harmlessly into the back.
She's putting a lot of pressure on our deeper defence with her reach. She's got a long reach, and she's just putting pressure on there. They've swapped. Megan's still in the deep defence.
Moorfield gets the ball away. Out on the right. They've built up well, but it's been mopped up generally by Wellington.
No, they have just swapped out. So
Baker offloads. And driving through the ball now, getting the shot away. Was that Mackay Stewart? And a chance for Lee here, if she can get the shot away. At goal it goes, good save. Jodie Walker in goal for Wellington. A lot of pressure on Lee's shot, but she got the shot away.
Yes, she did. She turned in a very small space there and got a shot.
I sense something here. A lot of players back, Wellington, but we know how quick on the counter-attack they are. Again, opting to go through the left-hand side through Felicity Reedy. And again, they're able to get that ball through out on the left, effortlessly it seems. And the end of a very entertaining quarter, but it is half-time in the very first match in the Otautahi Cup. And it's Wellington 0, Canterbury 0. Otautahi Cup. 2 15-minute spells have been played and we cannot find a breakthrough between the Wellington women and the Canterbury Cats, and it's been pretty intense and there's been some great attacking moves from both teams. And let's have a look at the last one from Canterbury. An opportunity there. It was Charlotte Lee with the ball now, shot at goal, and Jodie Walker in goal, and she saved a couple of good ones actually for Wellington, as has Sasha Master down the other end for Canterbury. But 0-0 on a grungy old day where we've had a bit of southerly this morning. We had some rain, we've had a bit of drizzle, got a lot of overcast. We've got the lights on, which is really good, and no underfloor heating unfortunately, but that's all right. The temperature's about 15, Pat Barwick. It won't worry the players, and that's all that matters, because they are showing us, these young players, how really well they are playing.
Yes, there's some great skill there.
So we did talk about late in that second half about a jersey swap in that Wellington side. So Kiriana Waido Hunter is wearing 16 and Megan Hull is wearing 17. As obviously the teams have swapped ends for the first 2:15 into the third quarter. And again, you can see Jess Kelly up there threatening for Wellington. She has shown us just what a great pace she's got and ability to get the shot away. But that's Kat Tinning for Canterbury, the skipper, wearing 5.
Yep, definitely.
So there is Megan Hull, the Tokyo Olympian, in the defence for Wellington, wearing 16. Slightly different to what we were given, so our apologies early on. Good tackle there coming from Hull, but the ball is with Wellington out of defence. They've been good and well structured. Back with Canterbury. Tinning gets the ball away. Shot into the circle. Sealed off. And that's Hull, who exits the ball out wide, which is where you want it, and they'll get the free hit as well. Excellent defence. Sun trying to burst through, Pat. It's good news.
Yeah, don't believe it. It's interesting, the game started similarly with Wellington starting to put pressure on and then Canterbury just breaking back out. It's going to be a similar game, I think, through this next half. Tight.
Anyway, let's not worry about the weather, because it's just fantastic that we're playing, that we've got the Otautahi Cup between Wellington and Canterbury and Otago, men and women, hastily put together by these 3 unions in Hockey New Zealand to ensure they got something. Shot at goal. Six for Wellington. Anna Walker-Roberts, former Black Stick. And this time through Brianna Catley for Canterbury. They dispossess early, trying to get the reverse stick away. And that'll be penalty corner number 3 for Canterbury. That's what they want. 24's on for Wellington. That is Claudia Rouse. So the young Christchurch goalkeeper is now on for Wellington. So Jodie Walker's off and Rouse is on wearing 24. I love the numbers we've been given anyway, and I'm going by it.
Yes. Yes, that was a bit interesting in that first part. I didn't think it looked quite right, but we were calling the numbers for Megan. But it's good to see her out there anyway today, as we said, playing with Wellington. So here's an opportunity for Canterbury to... It's about their third.
Yes, it is. Yep. And 2 is Bella Ambrosius, who we've been very impressed with. Her real nippy play. She's dragging out from the base, injecting. And the sweep, and trying to get a deflection in there. Not trapped, they'll get another one. There's maybe a little foot.
There's a foot on the rebound, unfortunately.
So it has to be so precise, this, Pat, doesn't it? Like the inject has to be out, but a hit not only does it have to be accurate, it has to be fast.
It has to be quick to give time at the top for that decision to be made. And to... Oh, yes, and so we're watching the... Oh, we're into the...
Back live.
Back live.
Yep. Moorfield sweep, and again, just the deflection. No, off the Canterbury stick, so it'll be a free out for Wellington. They dispense with all the protective equipment. And starting off very quickly, getting that ball through. Let's not worry about passing it, because we can get it right down the other end in one hit. Sometimes you just need to do that to clear the muck in the middle, don't
yes,
you?
take the pressure away.
Yeah.
And also, if you can screen strongly at the other end, you can keep it in that third. So it's not a bad option at times.
Nice 1-2 passing.
Canterbury
from
worked
deep
out of it very
defence.
well.
Anderson gets the ball away. Ambrosius can't hold on to it. Roberts waiting for the cavalry to arrive for her. Oh, that's wonderful strength on the ball and the footwork to go with it from Walker. Roberts just can't hold on to it up the front. And that time the pass is away to Anderson, who doesn't track cleanly, but it's with her still nonetheless. And she's got lovely balance as well, and pushes the ball into the middle, and no one there. Again, the gasp goes up from this Canterbury crowd. Ruby Baker has the ball, another Wellington College player. And she won't take it. And Hull will. Up and over it goes. I think the passing and the willingness to find each other has been a feature from Canterbury, as opposed to what we've seen from Wellington down that left flank in that first half. Pat Bowick and the use of Jess Kelly just been devastating, except they just haven't had the finish in that shooting circle.
No, Wellington are mixing the carrying and the passing up a little bit more. Canterbury's trying hard to make the ball do the work at the moment, I think. They've come out in this half to really see if they can make more passes, manipulate and move Wellington around the pitch a bit, because they haven't been able to get through their defence up until now.
Very evenly matched.
I think we could improve the ball speed, however, a little bit more in terms of, making it a bit quicker across the pitch. You can change that point of attack quickly. You can take advantage of the spaces.
So the whistle for a stick check, and they're up high overhead, which we talked about in that first half, being utilised again on the run, which is pretty difficult to do that, execute that.
So we hit outside the circle, so here's an opportunity for Canterbury to set up.
Tessa Reid. And just can't keep it Shield that time, but they'll get it back and regather and start again.
That's quicker passing, that's good work. Keep it moving now.
Good challenge and press from Wellington. Oh, nice work. Arabella Shield just can't finish off what was a lovely little piece of one-on-one. And that is Rihanna Poe, who talked to you about the excitement that she brings when she's out there on the pitch and the work that she does. She's touted as one of the best age group players in the country, wearing 13 for Wellington.
Yes, she's certainly showing really good body balance and athleticism out there, and her stick skills are pretty solid as well. So she is a player to keep an eye on, I think.
There'll be corner for Wellington. Again, favouring this side. Back in the middle. Again, nice stick workers again. But both defensive structures have been sure, haven't they?
Yes, very sound actually. They've made it really difficult for either team to get through, and it needs to be perhaps a little bit more awareness of where the passes can be as they enter the circle. So heads are down a wee bit and dribbling, and therefore not quite such good vision in terms of picking up the players they want to find.
Now Wellington's turn to seal it off. Charlotte Eastman can't get it through. Shield brings it through the middle, working very hard and trying to get the pass away to up into that circle. Was it Baker running through, trying to latch on to the pass? Not so much chatter.
It's quite quiet out there, really, for this level of play. You're generally hearing a lot of talking and calling.
This is Tinning, the skipper for Canterbury, taking the ball on the baseline, looking to catch a foot shot. A goal! It's in!
Oh, good shot.
That's a good goal. So who got the touch? Was it Catley? Let's have another look, hopefully, at the moment. So from nothing, they've conjured up a game breaker. Let's have another look, Pat.
So here we see it being brought along the back line. Whoop, not quite there yet. It was the ball coming back in on the back line.
And Hayley Cox, it sounds as though Hayley Cox was the goal scorer.
Here we're seeing it now, being carried beautifully along the back line, and then the very good pass laid back, and Hayley coming in on a sweep, sliding over at the same time, and finishing it off into the corner of the net. So that was a great pass and a great finish.
Well, that work that Tinning, the captain, did on that baseline and putting it back, but in the end, that little bit of desperation, and that's what you want to see, some players trying to make a difference.
Real commitment to score the goal, yep.
Now, what will this do to Wellington? Sting them into action?
Another good pass across.
Now again,
they're having a good tussle here, number 5 and number 20 from Canterbury.
Reid and Kelly.
Kelly, yes.
Jess Kelly's been impressive. The ball has not been latched on from Cox, but she has at the moment proved the difference between the two sides. It is Canterbury 1, Wellington 0, and we are 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Yeah, that's on Canterbury for not being 5 metres from where the ball was coming down.
Coming down, that's the same rule, yes.
Like the consistency. Oh, well won.
Steal.
Anderson does really well. The intensity is really being ramped up here by Canterbury. Shot into the circle, looking for a foot, looking to latch on to a pass. It doesn't happen. Reedy for Wellington. It's the ball right up onto the right-hand side as the brightest time of the game, with the sun trying to find its way through the cloud cover. The lights are on.
Good ball.
Really pushing up high. Hull.
Good accuracy, a couple of good examples of good accuracy passing from a good player. Really right onto the stick and hard and fast.
Oh, a lot of congestion. Look how many players around the ball over on that area of the turf. Oh, beautiful delivery. One-on-one, the elimination skills, but it's just that final pass sometimes, isn't it? But there's no easy passes. That's the thing. The challenge from both teams has been sure. No one's getting a free ride here, that's for sure. Now this is Winter with the shot slightly under hit with the heel of the stick. But sometimes they can be the hardest ones.
Good country tackle there, I think, at the top of the circle by two players, in fact. So lucky it wasn't perhaps a penalty corner.
Bit of desperation. Oh, beautiful work. Just put the pressure on.
We need somebody.
Charlotte Lee with the fast legs, was it?
Yes, Charlotte leading, taking the ball there.
Tinning again involved, taking the ball into the circle. She's dangerous here.
Just lacking a little bit of getting ahead of the ball, getting a runner up into the circle in those situations where we're breaking out. We just don't seem to be getting anyone to pass forward to. I mean, that was a classic situation where we could have had almost a one-on-one with the keeper if we could just get someone up there. We tended to be running and watching what's going to happen rather than really just bursting. That's just a little bit of youthfulness.
The players off the ball?
Yes, the players off the ball. Just a little bit of youthfulness and reading what's happening, I think, and also they always will watch what's going to happen rather than perhaps always make it happen.
Yep. Changing the attack point and going back and around over on the left side this time, Canterbury. And some of those passes just under pushed.
Yes.
She's been good. Anna Walker-Roberts today for Wellington.
Very steady, she has, and making the simple options so that it's safe and tidy in defence.
Anderson has it. Looking up, shot in there. Oh, beautiful try. Ambrosius looking to really cap off, which has been a very good third quarter for Canterbury. And the nice thing about that, the delivery, they looked up, had a look and saw Ambrosius was in there, sent it.
Yes, and she was running hard in, and that's what we just talked about, was getting that player that's running forward ahead of you and being able to target them in the circle. It's almost an easier type of pass than being able to be set and watching them running beside you. It's a good steal again.
Done well, haven't they, in some of them, and equally Hull coming through.
Well read by Hull on that occasion.
Out wide, just need those ones to be dragged in, and she slaps her thigh in frustration.
Yes, she just lifted off the ball, had it on her stick, and then just let it roll off, unfortunately. It's so critical in hockey that you stay down and stay on the ball.
Baker gets her pass away. This is where the one-on-ones count, isn't it?
Yes. Tidy skills, but sometimes that little pass back and forward, give and go, is actually easier option because you just force the defender to run off you and onto the player that you've given the ball to, and then you can get it back. And perhaps we could see a little bit more of that sometimes.
Well, let's see what the last 15 will give this opening match in Otautahi Cup 2021. But at the moment, after 3 quarters, it is the Canterbury Cats, courtesy of a Hayley Cox goal, are 1-0 ahead of Wellington women.
Shelter up there.
Well, last 15 in the opening match here at Ngā Otautahi, Christchurch. And the sun bursting through, thank goodness, and the temperature just inching up towards that predicted high of 18. We're sitting on 16. And just the one goal, 6 minutes from the end of the third spell. A lovely run by the captain for Canterbury, Kat Tinning, along the baseline, delivered the ball back, and it was a diving push towards the goal from Hayley Cox that got the ball in the net and broke the deadlock. So some exciting hockey we've had up until now.
Yes, it was a good goal when it came, and it was quite exciting to see that good deflection and a real commitment that was made to score it.
What will be Wellington's reply with 15 minutes left? It was a big stick check, doesn't get pulled up, and a come away again. Jess Kelly gets the ball away, and equally down the other end, a very good dispossess by Canterbury. They can't latch on to the end of it. Ambrosius tries to screen. Hull offloads to Mido Hunter, and that beautiful running style from Poe gets the ball in the circle, and a chance for Kelly goes bigging.
That was a great opportunity. Very good ball into the circle on the right angles.
There it is again. Poe delivers the ball beautifully.
Oh, yes.
And Kelly just couldn't latch on to it. Wellington in real time now come away with the ball. Up on their right flank, they look stung into action. Actually, they've started every quarter really well, haven't they?
Yes, they have. They've come out with a real enthusiasm to get back into this game properly, get a goal back. When they move and start passing the ball, they seem to really get a flow on Wellington. They find each other easily and they really use passing to good effect.
They ran out of options. Davis goes and collects. Up and over. Lots of nice height there. And brought down beautifully. That was just stunning skills, wasn't it?
Look, the greenie.
Oh, fair enough. Green card for that rather strong tackle on the Canterbury captain, who really did bring that aerial ball down superbly. She's shown us some lovely skills. But for a player that is trying to attract the New Zealand selectors' attention, I think she's having a very fine match.
Yes, it's good. She's really in the game too. She's turning up in different areas, like moving across the line, the level that she's playing in, so that she can be involved in the game.
Well, she's being a leader, and she is the captain, but she's taken the ball down the baseline a couple of times, rewarded it by the second time that she did it. Strong drive in by Baker. Oh, I thought it was going to hit the upright and come back out.
Could have been an interesting one. That's always a hard ball in hockey when it does that. And there was a player right there waiting for it to happen.
This is Hull. Loves the hockey. The Tokyo Olympian. And great that she's here. Not just for her Wellington teammates, but for Canterbury to match up against her as well. And the other games that they'll play. Fantastic.
Oh, it's good for hockey. I mean, it's great for the players to have that lift in the game when you have a top player or two in the mix that's not, otherwise going to be there. So it's really going to raise the whole games, the game level of games all this weekend. So ideal.
It was Ambrosius getting the little dinky skills and quick footwork. This is Anderson. GC Anderson. Ambrosius again. Can't get it through the wall. It's just a lone voice. Oh, good teamwork again. This is Anderson and Ambrosius linking up together and securing a free hit on the right-hand side, just outside the circle. No, for a group of players, both sets of teams, you've got to say, both teams, you can see what they've tried to engineer, which is, says plenty for, when they weren't sure whether there was going to be any hockey, and that they've kept training and kept working hard. Look at this, beautiful body balance from Rihanna Poe. Another player that is going to excite all sport watchers in the future. Anderson, her own elimination skills, absolutely perfect and on point then. Been impressed with Arabella Shield. I think she's had a fine game at 13 too.
She has had an excellent game. She's got good control on the ball.
Baker can't find Anderson, who doesn't trap it. Some big lunges coming through now with some of the tackles. I guess they're a bit tired.
Yes. Just at the moment in the phase of the game, the Wellington players are tending to find that long ball forward a little bit more accurately than Canterbury. So we need to look out for a surprise there. There could be a good ball received in that way, and they'll start to go through to the goal circle. Here's an opportunity now.
Yes, they run well with the ball, scanning up to see who's ahead of them and who can they give the pass away.
Canterbury recovered it well.
Anderson again, so quick. Of course, he's got a sprint background or an athletics background, track runner. Ambrosius goes out wide, opts to go up that left flank. Gathered in by Catley. She has it now, trying to drag it back. And it will be a long, it'll be a corner. So, what can they create from this? Players really looking to enjoy their time out on the pitch.
It's got a big call, coming back, opening it up. It's so crowded in there. But they've got that high runner in the Wellington group, putting pressure on.
Great, strong defensive work, wasn't it? Baker. It's the ball in the air. What can she do with it? Lee has it. Can it go in? Oh, yes. Fabulous finish.
Goal.
That is really good teamwork from Canterbury. High fives all round, and why not? And it's the captain who finishes off, but it's a fine movement up the right.
It's a great receive here, and wonderful turn and a pass across. Just what do you see as a classic hockey goal, really. A square ball across the face of the keeper. And she couldn't do anything once that was there.
Well, it should always be a goal when you're in that scenario,
Absolutely.
But you've still got to do it. And it was outnumbered. The Canterbury players were up in there.
It was an excellent turn in the circle. And the first receive, first touch of the ball, it's so important. That's what we say so often. That first touch is critical.
Winter, she's still got it for Wellington. They need to drag one back, and they certainly need to be the next one.
She's looking for the corner there, and she certainly got it by just coming through, putting the defender under pressure and creating a PC for Wellington.
Now let's see what they can do, Wellington. They know they have to get the next goal. They're 2-0 down. Yep, they've come up with the plan. There's Kat Winter wearing 2, who's been troubled the Canterbury defenders. Clever running. Imogen Neal's up there, 15. Is it going to be her shot? From the baseline, Canterbury defence set now. Yes, Winter, will she have a shot herself? Good running from Mackay Stewart.
Unfortunately, she just bounced the ball a bit into the body of the Canterbury player, so it's a hit out to Canterbury.
So 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes left in the match. Canterbury 2, Wellington 0. I think the accuracy in the passing and the willingness for Canterbury to keep possession like this and to have the confidence to move it around, I think that's been a feature for me, Pat.
Yes, when you consider some of them, they haven't played a lot of match hockey together, and they're a good mixture across the clubs. They're not playing together regularly all season, so they've done well to actually get them together and be able to become a passing unit, if you like.
And by comparison, Wellington, who we know through Jess Kelly and those individual forays through that left flank particularly.
Oh, great chance in there. Yeah, sorry.
Well, it's not for the want of trying. Wellington are desperate to get in there and get a clean shot, but at the moment it's being read superbly well by Canterbury in deep defence. Moorfield, all smiles.
Become a Canterbury ball.
Deflected off the Wellington stick. As the sun really does burst through now. Very pleasant conditions and no wind, that's the important thing. Tinning again impresses, reacts to whoever puts a tackle on it and looks for the space. It's now out on that left-hand side. Oh, a little give and go by Anderson. Looks up. Can she find another Canterbury stick?
Canterbury still got it in the circle with Lee.
Yes, she has, and gets the ball across now.
And
a bit more desperation coming in from where the ball's going to, from both sets of players. Still out there on the left flank for Canterbury. And over the baseline. Under 5 minutes to go. Canterbury 2, Wellington 0. hard ball to bring down when it's just above the turf height. Anderson been prominent all match in that midfield for Canterbury.
Plenty of patience by Canterbury, really, just making sure they're keeping hold of the ball now a little bit more. They've got the lead and they're trying to maintain that, at the same time still trying to attack.
Tinning, the captain.
Here's one again.
Latches on to a Brianna Catley sweep at goal. It didn't go goalwards. But Tinning, again, so influential.
And there it is, that replay, and Tinning beautifully bringing the ball in again. Almost and coping with the body, little shrug there, and being able to keep her balance and still play the ball through, just not quite getting it accurate at the end.
Big strong whistle. That's a card.
Yep, and we've got one over in the bin.
So Canterbury reduced to 10, Anderson in the bin for 2.
It's been a pretty tidy game though overall. We haven't seen too much untidy work or umpires having to penalise.
No, I think there's only been 3 or 4 whistles for strong tackles. I think that's about it the whole match.
A couple of green cards, hasn't been bad, has it?
Players have wanted to play.
Again.
Great read of the ball. Coming up, overlapping, always dangerous. That's what you want to find. 3 minutes left for Wellington to get something out of it, but it's with the Canterbury side.
And well defended again, actually. Good defence coming across.
Tinning, you're dominant.
That'll be a long.
Brianna Catley. And Emily Baker now sweeps into the middle of the pitch. Tinning again involved in looking to create some space, takes it back and around. Out to Baker. It's got a great sweep hit on her and a little touch.
Oh, wow. That was a great shot in again. Good angle. Player right on the post. Just the defender getting the touch before she could get there. Here we go. You can see Tinning bringing it in again, bringing it back out. Good pass to the right. And then that angle again enters the circle. Just not quite making it into the goal.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's choosing the far upright. The far upright is what you're aiming for, to go across the face of the goal.
Generally the best option, so you have opportunities for players to touch it on the way across, get the deflection and change it for the keeper. Not very often is the keeper's post available to you from that angle.
She recovers well. Lofen does, and takes it herself. The old order pass is one of the best things that's happened in the game. Keep the game moving.
It certainly does.
Anderson's back on. 2 minutes has been served. And lovely pass again to Kelly. Look at her making strides, so strong through. And effortlessly mopped up.
Yeah, well intercepted by...
I love the way that Arabella Shield plays her hockey and is uncompromising. She stayed low on that tackle, Pat.
Very strong. Yes,
yep.
She's strong defender, and she's likes to get on with the game too. So as soon as that whistle goes, she's taking the free hit.
Or Cox. And I wonder if she'd held the whistle a bit for Tessa Reid to have another shot, but she held her shot, didn't she, Reid? She could have gone. Let's have another look.
Here it comes in here again. And at the top of the circle, a good drive in.
Cox again sliding, getting the hit away. But Reid, the ball fell to her, and umpire called it just before she could take a really good shot. Ambrosius will inject. Will we see Moorfield or Davis? Be good to see Alicia Davis's drag flick.
If we haven't seen a drag flick, we might see one at this stage. We've got Jackie on the initial castle, as they call it now, and the Alicia on the second. I think she's not in the...
Yes,
Davis
here we go. To drag flick, there it is. And
certainly a good try, didn't get it up that high, but it was a nice direct shot on trying to get it over the left foot of the keeper, which is always a little bit of a hard one for them. You don't always need it way up off the ground for that shot.
It's the angle, isn't it?
Here's another good drive.
Another chance. Reid has it this time. Can she get the shot away? And desperation as she tries to keep it in the turf. I think she looks at the umpire and says, surely that was a penalty corner.
Pleading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did the Wellington defence cope with it well?
Wellington trying something different to come out then with a high throw. They haven't really done that often, but wasn't that successful. So there's the game.
There is the game. And 2 second-half goals to the Canterbury side. Firstly, 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and it was a Hayley Cox goal, and then into the fourth quarter. It was a Cat Tinning special, and they're able to take the game, Canterbury. A good, hard-fought match between these two sides for the Otautahi Cup, and it is Canterbury who come away with the win points. Canterbury 2, Wellington 0. Final impressions, Pat Barwick?
Well, it was a good tight game, really. I mean, 2-0 sounds like a good score, but really Wellington had some opportunities and it was pretty even all up, and then Canterbury managed to finish. So a positive game, obviously, for them to start at home and here on their own home turf. But I thought it was a really good game, good intensity for a first-up match.
More importantly, we saw some great young skill coming through as well on the hockey front. But it is Canterbury who take the win points in the very first game, and they've beaten Wellington women by 2-0.